jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
First in the building, Samuel is on deck. Salute WCS. Chaos at the PBC ? Oh, what happened between the Lion Cub and Baby Shark? I don't know, but the news is coming out that it's a little bit of chaos over there. You know what I'm saying? Especially between Charlo and Errol Spence Jr. We're going to get to it. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. Jason on deck. What's good with it, Jason? Carlos Rosado is in the building. Salute to you. MD is in the building. What's good with it, brother? Big Blunts and Boxing is in the building. What's good with the GOAT is on deck? Told you that how Canelo will win WCS. Left, right, uppercut. He's gonna lay out on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I gotta try to keep that a secret, because things are not the way they're supposed to be over there. I don't want them to get more upset than what they already are. On the round on deck. What's good, man? We said salute to the chat. Yes, sir. All those cherry pick resumes over PBC got exposed even by their own stablemates. Yes, sir. So for those of you that's here on deck, there's a little bit of archaic mayhem going on. There's some disruption that has came to the surface from my sources who have communicated with, saying that Charlo and Errol Spence is not on good terms right now. You know, there's a lot of speculation that's going on with, you know, a lot of back talking, you know, on how Errol Spence lost the fight. And, you know, words that was said that, you know, 100% effort wasn't given. You know, just you know how fighters be talking, you know, trying to make it seem like they're better than the next, you know. Supposedly this alleged type of back and forth behind the scenes verbal sparring has been active. You know what I'm saying? And you seen Charlo in All Access take a shot at Errol Spence. Now, a lot of you all probably look at that as being nothing, but it is huge, man. It's very huge for him to take a shot at Errol Spence during that time, because he mentioned his name and he was pretty much putting it out there as if he wasn't in shape, that he was deconditioned. You know, you can't do that with a fighter. You know what I'm saying? You can't go in there and say that about a fighter. Y'all supposed to be in the same stable, and you're talking about Showtime. Hey, you had Errol Spence out here breathing all hard and everything like he was out of shape. You know what I'm saying? If there's anything you could have said about your stablemate, it could have been something positive, but that wasn't the case at all. And word has come out that there's been a disconnect between those two guys who have been around each other for quite some time. But like I told you all before, the fight that was supposed to happen should have happened and just may happen is Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo now. Why? Because that fight makes a whole lot of sense. That Errol Spence is moving up, and we potentially may not get the fight with Terrence Crawford. And even if he fights Terrence Crawford next, still that fight with him and Jermell Charlo, because Jermell's going to be out the ring for a while. He's not getting back on a groove, just ASAP, especially since his WBO title has been taken. He's not going to be in a sense of urgency. So, the word I'm receiving is that Errol Spence, Jermell Charlo may indeed be on the docket for a forecasted fight in the future. And if y'all remember, I said that the PBC wanted to make in-house money when Jermell Charlo was undisputed. All they had to do was line up Spence. All they had to do is send out a tweet or, have some type of disconnected friends. And once that hit the media airwaves, it wouldn't be too much more than you had to do to sell it. So now that we have some real genuine disconnect going on, I use the healthy term disconnect, the disconnect going on, the animus, the contentiousness going on between them. And if you didn't notice, this past weekend in Vegas, you didn't see Spence there. Spence wasn't there to support his stablemate. Spence was not in Vegas to support his stablemate at all. It was more important to him to hold in place, and that's all that mattered to him. He didn't feel like he needed to step out there to Vegas to support him, especially if he feels like he's been stabbed in the back following his fight. You know what I'm saying? All the talk that's been going on over there in Texas about, how Spence, easily was dominated by Crawford. And then you know for a fact that Mel Charlo don't like Crawford. So the fact that he don't like Crawford, for him to make it known that, Crawford would never do him like that or whatever the case may be. Crawford, he'll have a better time with Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He'll be a better fight. Pretty much Spence couldn't get it done. And, truth be told, it was bound to happen anyway. With them egos like the Charlos, it was bound to happen anyway. So just the mere fact of him putting it out there to the people that how he felt about Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight, how Terrence Crawford was pretty much talking so much shit to him, about that fight and how he despised it. He done made it perfectly clear he despised Terrence Crawford. He despises Bud. So of course he was going to talk shit about Errol. Of course he was. It was bound to happen. It was imminent, man. Y'all don't sit up here and act like this wasn't going to happen, that Charlo wasn't going to start taking shots to step on Spence. He don't care. They got their own gym over there. They don't care nothing about that. They don't have to go to the world-class furniture store. He don't have to go over there. He got his own gym. Where did you see Diddy James at? At their gym, the Charlo gym. You seen them up there. They was doing the all access and a lot of footage up there, the open workout, all this shit, letting the cameras be on deck. That's what they was doing to that. But truth be told, we got something to look forward to because people are pretty agitated about the bleeping performances, the bleeping performance values is going on over there at PBC. And why you see the PBC in the Mexican colors? Because they have spent so much time trying to give Canelo their whole entire stock, their live stock, their best fighters. That doesn't seem like a a managerial advising company, because TGB is the promotion, but that doesn't seem like an organization that's trying to, I don't know, raise their fighters up, you know what I'm saying, to a point where they can be remembered as the greatest. Like when you give one man all that love, it's no way that you're betting against that person that you gave all that love to. I mean, you're providing Canelo with 3 of your best fighters. And when this initially hit, last year, it was Charlo, Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying? Possibly David Benavidez. It was just a lot going on, man, for Canelo Alvarez. They was just literally feeding Canelo their fighters. And, you know, if Canelo choose to believe that the nesting egg over there at PBC is easy money for him to go in there and swoop in and grab that money bag and fly out, and they willing to do it, then so be it. I don't blame Canelo for taking that stance. If you're offered a bag such as this, I'm talking about over 100 million. If you're offered a bag like this to go in there and fight fighters that you know for a fact you're going to beat, Canelo shouldn't care how people are basically looking at the PBC, because it's higher ups on the chain of command that allowed this to take place. It's higher ups, y'all. And this is what we're going through right now. We know there was going to be a fallout sooner or later over there in the PBC. We knew. We had the Charlo brothers fall out. That was come on, man. That was easy. They busy going at each other online all the time. Social media, it was only a matter of time. You know what I'm saying? It was good. They was both in the same building. Excuse me. Charlo hugged his brother. It was cool. But it was only a matter of time, man, before Spence and Charlo real relationship come to the surface. You know what I'm saying? They haven't been that tight like that. They have not been that tight. I don't know why people believe that Errol Spence and Charlo has always been close-knit, tight bosom buddies. They haven't been that way. It's always been a competitive. You know what I'm saying? It's always been, you know, when Charlo picked up Undisputed first, he pretty much made it perfectly clear that he was better than Spence. You know what I'm saying? He always made it perfectly clear that he wouldn't have no problem going in there beating Crawford because he was too light in the ass. But when Spence went in there and lost to Crawford, that changed up a lot of shit. That changed up a lot. You know what I'm saying? You know, there was a lot of behind the back, you know what I'm saying, underhanded, cutthroat talk as to the performance that Spence put in. Yeah, this was prior to Jermell Charlo stepping in there with Canelo. See, once Jermell Charlo got that fight with Canelo Alvarez, you couldn't tell him shit. You couldn't tell him shit. He about to go fight Canelo. He felt that's the biggest the biggest moment of his entire career that Spence never will experience. Spence will never be able to fight Canelo now. Never. If he would have beat Crawford, yes, he would have got a fight with Canelo. Absolutely. I believe it wholeheartedly. He would have beat Crawford. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he would have beat him twice. If he would beat Crawford twice, he would definitely got a fight with Canelo. But the way he was beat by Crawford, he won't be seeing no Canelo fight. It won't make sense. People look at him the way he lost the Crawford and say, what's the purpose of him going in there with Canelo? He's going to get annihilated. He's going to get annihilated. Should we feel some type of way based off the performance of these big names at the PBC? Why they're not demonstrating the way they should? Shouldn't they be demonstrating better than what we've been watching? All these pro PBC channels on here. I don't know if you all are talking about the right, you know, y'all are putting out the right content and highlighting the PBC fighters. It seems like you want to talk more about a fighter that signed with Showtime, not the fighters that signed with PBC. Maybe I should put focus. People talking about how Stephen Fulton lost. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence lost. You know what I'm saying? They've been taking some big losses lately. Some really big losses. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Gervonta Davis, surviving. He's different. He's different. He's cut from a different cloth. But it's a lot of fighters. Jamel Charlo next up in line for this infamous Canelo $100 million deal. And he becomes egg yolk. If you ever wanted to see a black Humpty Dumpty fall off the wall, that was him. Yeah, absolutely. That was him. And there might have been some kittens going over there licking up the yolk because they said, oh, that's family, man. Let's go over here and help them out. They went over there and started licking up the yolk. That's what family does, right? Family looks out for you. I never thought I saw black Humpty Dumpty fall off the wall like that. But goddamn it, he had a little help. Hold on for a second, y'all. All right, we back. See what's in the chat right quick. I would definitely watch this fight because I know the press conference will be lit along with their history. Some shit will be spoken to each other. Diddy so messed up, he wanted to train both guys. That's where the split's gonna happen, Carlos. That's where we're gonna see Guzman train Charlo. You know what I'm saying? There's options. That split between Derrick James and Errol Spence can happen. I don't believe what Derrick James is talking about when he's talking about, oh, he was just over my house, and he's saying if people only knew, they wouldn't be talking that. No. For as long as y'all known each other, he only been over your house 3 times. Come on, bro. Come on, man. And for you to even say that, Frank Martin performance was terrible. Errol Spence performance was terrible. AJ performance was terrible. Charlo, all we know is the common denominator is WCS. Hey, man, that's what I'm trying to get at, right? I didn't even want to bring up Frank Martin because he's not really in the running of big names. You know what I'm saying? But the fighters over there like Frank Martin, yeah. And then you have to look at just so many other fighters, but mainly this trio that's going on. Exclude Maul, but Anthony Joshua did look bad, but he got the victory. Errol Spence and Jamel Charlo, who was on this list, this hit list, it's just too easy for people not to understand that it's a breakdown that's going on right before your eyes. It's been some big fights where these fighters were supposed to win and they didn't. They came up short. If they're all about giving these fighters to Mexican fighters, why don't they just set up a headquarters near the Mexican border? And so them and Mexico can exchange fighters back and forth and just really run up the records. If you really want to set the trend and get ahead of the game, just build up a headquarters over there, build up a gym. You know what I'm saying? It's close to the Mexican border. And so these fighters won't have far to travel. And you can just go back and forth over there to get these fights. And you can build up these fighters. You can build up these paper champions. You can have better communication with these people. You can see who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You can have eye contact. If I've never heard of a promotion who's willing to sacrifice their top name fighters to one fighter who can get this lineup. Why can't any other fighter get a lineup like Canelo? Every time I turn around, Canelo's getting a full-blown lineup of fighters. A full-blown lineup. A full-blown lineup. As I mentioned earlier about the list last year, I don't know if I said Mel or Mal. Mal Charlo was the first in line to get that. It was Mal Charlo. He was the first in line. Mal Charlo was supposed to be the first in line. Why would you put 3 of your good fighters on the list like that? Why would you do that? 2 Charlos and a Spence all calling out Canelo Alvarez. And they absolutely try to appease these guys by putting them on the list to fight Canelo, and Canelo's the only one making the biggest bag. Seriously, he's the only one making the biggest bag. So now you get to a point, you have Spence-Charlo that just went in there and fell off the wall. Then, you know, a lot is going to be said about that. You heard Crawford and the way he was up there talking. You know, he was letting his mind be heard. You know what I'm saying? His point of view, like, okay, all you have to do, Jamel, is go in here and put up a fight. You know, just put up a fight, man. But since he didn't put up a fight, you know, Crawford's like, man, it's sad watching that. You know what I'm saying? You just let him treat you like he was your daddy. So with that said, there's another PBC fighter that's supposed to be a top tier name who is the current unified champion at 154 pounds. Look extremely bad being pushed up to 168 pounds. They didn't have to push Spence-Charlo up there. They didn't. And if you look at how they did it, it's just sloppy. It's just sloppy, y'all. It's just sloppy. You know, as consumers, we should feel some type of way about this fight because a lot of people spent money to go over there and watch this. A lot of people spent that $84 to watch this fight, but it's extremely sloppy. You know what I'm saying? Transition. You know, Maul fall out, so we put his little brother. Yeah, that's little brother because that's what he represents. He said it himself. He's little Charlo. That's what I represent. So they sent little itty bitty Charlo up there. The itsy bitsy Charlo. Yeah, that comes to mind to me. You know what I'm saying? The itsy bitsy Charlo. They sent the itsy bitsy Charlo up there and shit. And he fought like he was the itsy bitsy Charlo. But now you got Spence problems. Now you and Spence ain't getting along for quite some time, and it's finally coming out to the surface, coming up to the surface. Now the word is coming out that you and him, like I mentioned, will possibly stepping in the ring in the near future. I like that fight. I think y'all should step in the ring. It's not like PBC fighters ain't fought each other before. Spence and Danny Garcia fought. Come on, y'all. Y'all don't start coming up here acting like this shit ain't happened before. I see the end of the furniture factory in sight. He said the furniture factory. Man, they got furniture on clearance right now. Get your credit cards ready. Vegas there was good. Yeah, Errol's reputation is done after that beating. Well, not only did that beating, pretty much put Errol Spence in a situation where people are really looking at him crazy to the point where he didn't want to come face the music. Not only did he didn't want to come face the music, but he wasn't coming in there to support Charlo, because Charlo has been speaking reckless about that dude. You know what I'm saying? You know how Charlo is. You know how he is. He's been speaking reckless about Spence, man. He looked at that fight and he was ringside, and not only, it wasn't like Spence was speaking to him. It's the fact that his opposition was talking shit to him, and he didn't like his opposition talking shit to him. So it would have been better if Errol Spence went in there and got the job done, so Terrence couldn't be talking shit to Jamel. But it didn't work out that way. The T-Bone massacre was a bloody scene, and the one that was doing the bludgeoning was the guy who was having a sidebar conversation with Charlo. That's what sucks. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. What's good with it? That's what sucks, people. That's what sucks. One of the common denominators of the heat that's going on and everything is the fact that Terrence Crawford is trying to do something else. Terrence Crawford is trying to become a 3-weight world champion. All right. Okay. In order for him to become a 3-weight world champion, Canelo Alvarez has to say, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let me get with these people and try to see if we want to fight Terrence Crawford. Okay. That's going to be big money for Terrence, but also a lot of boxing fans believe that Terrence will put up a better fight than Charlo. Now, how this trickled down is the fact that if you remember this clown, Charlo, prior to him stepping in the ring, he was talking about they need to leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. It's somewhat like a kid that's just checked into the school for the first day, and he's a transfer. You know what I'm saying? And the students is trying to welcome him aboard, and he hasn't quite yet acclimated or became comfortable to the environment. He keeps saying, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. That's how Charlo was. He just wanted Bud Crawford to leave him alone because he didn't want the smoke. Now, how convenient of Charlo to go in there and have an F- performance in the biggest fight of your career. Not only did he have an F- performance, but the fact that it was agreed upon that both of these fighters will go in there and have an F- performance. But the F that Canelo gave, it's not going to be recorded and mean so much as Charlo, because Canelo could have went in there and stopped Charlo. Let's be clear. He could have stopped that dude. But it's what he said after the F- performance. His performance, pretty much, he deserved to be put in in-house detention. They should send his ass back to Texas and allow him to serve 96 hours inside that hot ass furniture store. They should have closed the doors and everything and cut off the fans, and you should have been made the shadow box for freaking 96 hours based off the performance that you did. Absolutely. Then check this out. Check this out, y'all. He was saying, leave me alone. Mel Charlo didn't want no parts of Bud Crawford. If you was to put up a hologram and there was goddamn Terrence Crawford just staring off into the distance, Mel Charlo would have got mad at the event creator. They would say, "What is this? What is this? Why is he up there like that?" He would have went up there trying to fight the hologram because he knew that shit wasn't real. That's how much he was on. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. He was adamant about that shit. But come the post fight, y'all, this dude up here calling Crawford name out because he's trying to save face. The weakest shit I've seen in a long time. I'm not gonna lie to you. This shit was motherfucking weak, man. God damn. I wanted to goddamn call the HR department, but I realized it was boxing I was dealing with. I say they don't have an HR department. The sport's not even regulated. The sport's not even fucking regulated, dog. And now that I hear this news about Charlo and Spence, no, nigga, keep your focus. Just like your trainer tells you all the time. Death by 1,001 focus. Focus on your stablemate now. You know what I'm saying? All the slick shit you've been saying, focus on Spence. I really hope y'all fight real soon. Seriously. I really hope you fight real soon because you find out who your real ones are in adversity. You find out the ones that's gonna stick with you, especially in a combat sport like this. Yeah, Spence went in there. He looked bad, but so did Charlo. Charlo just got a reprieve because he's still the champion at 154 pounds. So they told Canelo Alvarez, "Hey, don't damage that. Don't damage him like that. We still gotta get some checks out this dude. Don't damage him like that, Canelo. Just move around, get the shit, and you're gonna win the fight. You're gonna win the fight." Charlo, it just looked like he was out of place, unprepared, unwilling, lacking courage, no cojones. People would say, "Oh man, he got out there and fight." He didn't go fight no Canelo. They go there. "Oh man, Jamel went there and fought." He didn't fight the dude. He did not fight. Now, was he fighting to basically work on his lap times? Yes, he was working on his lap times. You know what I'm saying? Did his quads and hamstrings and calf muscles tighten up a little bit? Yeah, because that's what track stars go through all the time. He's a runner. He's a track star. You know what I'm saying? Hey, your shit's going to get tight because you're constantly rotating. That's a new word. Forget running. In boxing, it's rotating. So when Charlo was rotating out of those areas, those corners and being up against the ropes all the time, he was rotating, y'all, which is an alias for running, which is another alias for double timing, which is another alias for sprinting, another alias for leaving in haste. This dude ran the whole time. But back to the topic. Charlo was calling out Crawford's name because he know what I know. He know a lot more people going to try to push for Canelo Crawford. He knew that heading into this fight. He just didn't want to show no love. He didn't want to give y'all any indication that, you know, he want to fight Crawford. He don't want to fight him, but he want to take the glory. You know what I'm saying? He want to try to switch the tide real quick. Listen, consumers, you have to be clearly attentive to this type of behavior. They think they can puppetize us all the time and pull the strings on us. You know, you can go in there and have a shitty fucking performance, but then at the end you want to call out a Crawford name, a fighter that you haven't even wanted to face at all because you look like shit in there against Canelo. Now all of a sudden you want to goddamn face Crawford. You thought Crawford was gonna jump in the ring. You thought y'all was gonna have a moment. The nigga ain't trying to face you. He ain't you. He wasn't even studying you. He's like, man, I'm trying to have big money fights. And he go in there and lay an egg like that. No, I'm not. Maybe you can work that fight in with Spence. I want to see Charlo and Spence. That's what I want to see. Now that y'all at each other's throats, I want to see Charlo and Spence. You don't even rate the fight, Bud Crawford. He's a 2-division champion. And you need to stick to your unification. You're being a unified champion at super welterweight. No, don't nobody want to damn fall for that bullshit. And consumers, like I said before, Be very attentive to the puppetizing that goes on up here. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they feel like they can, they have to switch to influence us to act and with these ebbs and flows all the time. At any given moment, they can switch it up when they want to, and we supposed to just run and grab onto it and goddamn run with it and put it out, start doing thumbnails. Be very cautious of that shit, because Jermell Charlo want us to take our attention off the reality. You know what I'm saying? He want to call out Bud Crawford knowing he don't want that fight. He want to call out Bud Crawford because he know potentially him talking shit, because that's what he led up to in the post-fight conference. He said, I guess I'm gonna have to talk shit now since y'all want me to talk shit. That was the whole plan for him to go in there and be the docile lion cub. That was the whole plan for him. He was there to be the docile lion cub in there with Canelo Alvarez the whole week, show him the utmost pucker effect that you ever seen two lips on somebody's ass. And he was extremely nice. He was very courteous. He was just an upstanding guy. Man, I commend him. I'm working on this plaque right now. I just love him. Man, I got to give him the humanitarian award. He was so nice this fight week. I swear to you, if he would have been any more nicer, it would have changed the sport of boxing forever. Oh my God. When I was looking at that press conference, I got chill bumps. I did. I was just looking how special it looked for him to be so nice. So nice. He was busy giving Canelo compliments all over the place. But when it comes to Crawford, oh, I heard he was lip tussling. I heard he was this, he heard that. Nobody's trying to see that fight. I don't care for that fight. I want you to fight your stablemate Errol Spence Jr. Since y'all going in each other's neck right now, and you know, you was up there talking shit about his performance, and he didn't show up to your fight. Now it would be the opportune time for you all to fight. You know what I'm saying? If Errol Spence wants to fight Crawford again, cool. We'll see that fight too. If by chance that fight doesn't happen, he know he has options. And you know what these options gonna be? You the unified champion too? Ooh, I guess my shit coming to fruition. I was just a couple of years off. I guess my predictions coming to fruition now. I said Errol Spence should fight you. I said it way before Mike Tyson and people ran. I said Errol Spence should fight you when you was undisputed. Now you're not undisputed, but still you got the belts. It'll provide Errol Spence an opportunity to get in there with somebody who he knows very, very well. Yes, I like this fight. Y'all keep on chomping at each other's neck now. If y'all looking at this thumbnail, I'm going to briefly touch bases on it. Bud Crawford is hoping that Canelo freaking steps up to the plate so he can fight for the 3-time undisputed. You know what I'm saying? That's a good fight. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. Let me get that back up there. That's a good fight. You're going to see a lot of 3 times undisputed. You know, I find it's feasible to, you know, promote that, because we know damn well that Charlo isn't no Bud Crawford. We know that for a fact. And yeah, just like Carlos just said, I guess Jermell Charlo, when it came down to it, he was just busy. He couldn't let his hands go because he was busy. You know what I'm saying? If somebody could have just gave him a little bit of, and then he would have got busy. You put and busy together, you get what you're looking for. Busy. Yeah, they got an F-, dog. Bud beats everyone. You know what I'm saying? Buzz beat everyone, dog. Shout out to Sir Senior in the building. Jessica's on deck. What's good with it, Jessica? Charlo kept praising Canelo for his greatness and finally took one knee and bow in the 7th round. Now, the good thing about this fight is that they're under the same promotion, of course. We talk about this so many times. Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence. The good part about it is that both of them are coming off fights. You know, Spence came off his fight with Bud, and then Jermell just coming off a fight. We're still pending, trying to find out when this next fight date is going to be with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. But what I do like on the horizon is the fight potential between these two. It's a huge fight potential that Mel Charlo and Errol Spence can fight. You know, being that they don't like each other now, they're not on good terms. You know, you're going to have people up here coming behind me, this PBC pundits, you know what I'm saying? The help, the servants, you know what I'm saying? The waiters and waitresses. They're going to come behind me and say, this is fake news. It's okay. It's okay. Because that's what homework is. Let them do their homework as they always do. They want to be the ones that love putting out fake news, but something that they didn't have any information to first, they'll come behind and say they're fake news. But right here, I like this Mel Charlo fight in Errol Spence. That's you know what I'm saying? You want to talk shit about Errol Spence, man. Mel Charlo been talking shit about people. I want to see you and Errol Spence fight. I don't want to see Spence step in there Crawford again unless he's been able to change up a lot. He's willing to get rid of Diddy James for a minute and just go in there and put himself under the tutelage of coach. I just don't feel that what Bomax said has went away just because the fight happened. You know what I'm saying? Bomax said, you haven't went up against me nor my staff. It's profound. That's profound words, man. And we seen that play out July 29th. So for Errol Spence, they have been trained by the same coach, Diddy James. That's another area that makes this fight all the better. They know each other. They've been in there sparring. Hey, I heard Errol Spence used to beat up freaking Jermell Charlo in sparring. I heard he used to put hands on Jermell Charlo. I heard he used to put hands on Jermell Charlo. That's what make this fight even better too. Based off the F- that we seen this past weekend, and then whatever you want to grade, you want to give freaking Spence, I give him a U minus for unsatisfactory. God damn it, I give him a U. We're not talking about grade school and academic grading. We're talking about phonetic grading. Phonetic grading goes way past the F standard. You know what I'm saying? And this is considered a U. You know what I'm saying? By Errol Spence. Unsatisfactory. Unsatisfactory. So if you take two guys who pretty much put in unsatisfactory performances and you put them in the ring together and they know each other, the backstory is where you want it to be. Everything to make this fight, you know, to build this fight up is there. They've been in the ring. They sparred together. They had the same coach. This is a great fight. Now, let's be honest now. Just like the bullshit that Mel Charlo was talking previous to this fight, Brian Custer did ask him about fighting Errol Spence Jr. And see, this contentiousness has been, you know, here for a while because Errol Spence said he didn't mind. You know what I'm saying? He didn't mind. You know what I'm saying? Fighting Jermell Charlo. He don't care. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't go out on a tangent to say, you know, I'll fuck him up and this, that, and the other, because he knew in sparring he had already fucked him up. He knew that. He already fucked him up. Jamel knows that. That's why he was so quick to say, oh man, me and him from the same hood. That's my brother. Man, you know, I'll vacate the titles. If he want to fight for the titles, he got to get them. I'm gonna vacate them. Jamel's been talking this kitty cat shit for a long time, man. Let's see if Spence-Charlo is gonna step up and take his focus, his fake focus. You know what I'm saying? His face, look, his focus, fake focus. His focus, fake focus. Let's see if he removes his focus, fake focus off of Bud Crawford and put that focus, fake focus on Errol Spence. Because when Brian Custer asked you, would you fight Errol Spence, you said you'll vacate the titles, and he won them bad enough he can get them. See, that right there was a shot that you didn't have no you had no indication that you wanted to basically eat with your brother. You had no indication that was on your calendar right then or in the future. You don't care. You're not a team player, brother. As a black fighter, you're not all about allowing your brothers to eat. That's not what you do. If they eat, they're going to eat off the plate for which they're made their own paycheck and they can buy their own food. You're not trying to go in there and say, okay, we're going to split the bill on this one. We're going to make it worth our while, though. We're going to split this bill. And that's what we're going to do as stablemates and fighters. We're going to go in here and we're going to give the fans what they want to see. You're not mature enough, bro. You and Canelo the same age. And it's gaps between y'all when it comes to intellect. It's gaps. It's gaps, man. And I know my people may not want me to say that, or they may not want to hear it as if I'm down in the black man. But listen, you have to put all the details together. I'm not talking about all the details of you washing a car. That's easy. The car right there in front of you. I'm talking about details that you have to search and you have to go up here and collect these details. You know what I'm saying? You have to archive these details. And then you have to put them all together, and so they can meet your formula. You know what I'm saying? You have to do all this shit, collect all the evidence, all the details that you got, and then once you feel like you have gotten to a conclusion on what you was getting these details to basically substantiate your conclusion, then you do so. And there's a lot of fine details out there that would tell the boxing fans these two have been doomed. Errol Spence and Spence-Charlo has been doomed for quite some time. They don't hang out. Spence don't hang out with Mel. Shout out to Toby Bartlett on deck. Salute WCS in the chat. We're global, baby. We're global. Gotta heat up the grease. Gotta heat the grease up and fry these fish. Yes, indeed, man. We definitely have to fry the fish. And I'm thinking about we should go ahead and throw a little kitty cat in there too. I heard them kitty cats, they taste pretty decent once you put that heat to them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I'm trying to keep it clean now. I done had some cat that tastes real good. That shit was delicious. But you don't put that, you know, that's room temperature cat. It can get a little bit more warmer than usual, but that room temperature cat. But I know what you're talking about, Toby. You're talking about in hot grease where things start to cook. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Charlo Lewis. Miguel on deck. He said Charlo Lewis, man. Dang. You know, I think that's a bit disrespectful there, Miguel, because Carl Lewis was running for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? He was running for a purpose across the finish line. Charlo Lewis was just running in circles to make it to the finish line. He wasn't trying to cross the finish lines as the first one. He was trying to just make it to the finish line. Him making it to the finish line in a two-man race, knowing that Canelo had already put away them rounds, it seems like he didn't have a sense of urgency, brother. It just seems like he didn't have a sense of freaking urgency in there. Maybe he'll have a sense of urgency with Spence. That's what I hope. I hope when him and Spence fight, that both of these guys can erase the performances that we just witnessed in the last 3 months. You know what I'm saying? I hope that they go in there and show the people that they really can box with elite competition. Because both of these guys, unified champions, you know what I'm saying? Even though Spence is a former unified champion, you know, Jermell Charlo talk about he's a legend. You hear Jermell Charlo talks about this legend. So, okay, be a legend against Errol Spence. That's the perfect. Both of you all have one division to your name. Spence will be moving up to face you at 154. Let's see that legendary talk, because I don't know who the hell stamped you with that legend. I'm inclined to say that it's not even spelled right. I think the way Jermell Charlo spelled legend is L-Y. You know what I'm saying? G-E-N-D. I think his shit is spelled like that when the Y sounds like an E. I think that's how he spelled legend. It ain't no way we're talking about the same legend. So I'm already a legend. No, we're not going to do that, Jermell. We're not going to do that. You need to think about training your ass off of Spence, being that y'all know each other. You know what I'm saying? Al Heyman, I know you're listening, because I know all these PBC pundits out here. They busy want to put on them big shoes and take a full-blown sprint to the inbox. Al, I got some info. I'm dropping this link off right here on your doorstep, Al. Hurry up. We need answers. Is Jermell Charlo and Spence fighting? I need a reply. They be sitting up there asking Al for everything, bro. How do you get this information, Al? We supposed to be your messengers, Al. The aerosexuals supposed to be your pundits. The Kitty Club crew. The Kitty Club crew supposed to be your pundits. That's what we want. Shout out to Trick Noty, the Oracle in the building. Breaking news after the horrible performance by Jermell Charlo against Canelo Alvarez. City officials of Houston, Texas will announce today on the 5 o'clock news he will be exiled from the city forever. No Trick. You're going to have to do everything to stop that, man. I need for him to stay in Texas long enough so we can see this fight. I want to see Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence Jr. I want to see them. I want to see the battle of the monikers. I want to see the big fish against the lion cub. You know what I'm saying? The guppy against the cub. Something. I want to see these two fight. They're going to have to, hey, Trick, we're going to have to put a halt on that, man. Do anything you can, man. And just stall them out for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Stall them out for a little bit, man. Go in the piggy bank, give them a payoff, $5, $6. You know, stall them out for a little bit, Trick. That's all you got to do. Stall them out, bro. You know what I'm saying? See if they got some old food stamps over there, EBT cards, coupons, Groupons, whatever you need, man. I want to see this fight that's on the thumbnail. I want to see Spence move up to 154 and face Jermell. I want to see these two brothers go. They know each other. They've been in the ring together. I want to see Spence versus Mel tomorrow. So Trick, you got to do something, man. You got to call the cavalry. You got to send a special reaction force team up there. Don't exile them yet, bro. Don't exile them yet. We need for both of these guys to fight each other first. The winner leaves Texas forever. That's what the agreement could be. The winner leaves Texas forever. Don't wait for the damn community to send you out. I want to see this fight there, Al Heyman. I thought y'all had all the mentorship programs going on over there. But word has it, this bond has been severed. Yes, this friendship is no longer. Yes, sir. Mel Charlo is pissed off Errol Spence talking that shit behind his back when he lost to Crawford, a fighter that Mel Charlo do not like. He's been on record as letting people know that he does not like this guy. He does not like him. And the shit he was talking about the man from losing to Crawford is telling me that he can go in there and do something better. He can go in there and have a better performance against Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He believes that. So how you gonna turn your back on your mans though? That Mel Charlo. How you gonna turn your back on Spence, bro? I thought y'all was down. I thought y'all was solid, bro. But once again, I say you got to put the details together, people. You heard what the Charlo said when they was on Mike Tyson, hot boxing with Mike Tyson. He said, we don't have friends. We don't have friends. I mean, at that time, he did say, got my brother. But even them, they can't keep it together. You feel me? So when it comes to him and Spence, if he can't keep his relationship together with his brother, how the hell he's going to keep a friendship together with Spence? How's that going to work? It's not. Minnie Mill on deck. He said, why was Spence a no-show? Because Jamel Charlo was talking shit about him. That's why. Because Mel Charlo was talking shit about Spence. Spence said, I don't have time for that shit, man. I made more money than you did. Now you're trying your best to take my place because I took my first loss. But the wild part that people are not going to think about in this situation, because everybody is semi on this little happy parade with Jamel Charlo, this goofy parade they on, is the fact that Errol Spence was there when Mel Charlo lost to Tony Harrison and suffered his first loss. You know what I'm saying? He was there to console his brother. You know what I'm saying? Mar Charlo was right there by his side. But look how the tables turn, man. Look how the tables turn. Seriously. Look how Mel did Spence when he took his first L. Look how that shit played out. You know what I'm saying? He was there to freaking be his friend, let him know it'll be okay, man. You'll come back for that shit, which he did. He did. But when you look at Errol Spence being absent from Vegas this weekend, that's a clear sign saying that fuck him, man. I'm not coming up there to support you. You're there putting me on blast behind the scenes. You put me on blast in front of the scenes. You're telling people, all access that you're going to take a shot at me. I was breathing too hard. I wasn't in shape. You know what I'm saying? Who does that to their stablemate? Mel Charlo. That's who does it. He gonna have to answer those questions, bro. He can take this cotton swab head ass to Dallas, same interstate, 4-hour drive from him. Hey, Trick, we need you to stall him out, Trick. We need you to stall him out, bro. OG cold as hell. Loser got to get the fuck out of Texas for real. The loser leaves Texas for good. The loser leaves Texas for good. They busy up there sacrificing their big name fighters to one Mexican who's chopping them up like corny asada. Goddamn it. Goddamn, it's Taco Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and goddamn 2 for 1 on Saturday. Goddamn it. That's what Canelo doing to that shit. 2 for 1 special on Saturday with a free cocktail, a margarita, all that you need. And we're going to throw in 5 churros. Okay, we're going to give you some free churros. All right? After I finish beating them up, yes, we're going to go have a fiesta. And the wild part about this shit is, right, is that from my understanding, I was told by my colleague that Canelo was paid $1 million to go hang out in the Vegas club. I would say, goddamn, if that ain't some good ass money, you get another Millie Mill after going in that beating a Melly Mel. You get a Millie Mill after going in there beating up a Melly Mel. That's a good night's work. I swear to God, that's what you call productivity. Whoo, that's productivity. Canelo had a productive Saturday. How you gonna make $1 million on your day off? He made $1 million off on his day off, y'all. That wasn't work he did in the ring. That was sparring, man. He didn't go. He wasn't in no match. And then he gets out of the ring from the sparring match, gets showered up and everything, because goddamn, he barely broke a sweat. And then he hangs out in the club, and supposedly they paid that man $1 million. They paid this man $1 million to show up at the club. $1 million. Only Canelo makes that Canelo money. God damn, the green in it. Look, the green in a flag. Canelo knows all too well. This dude always packing away some money. Always, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can say he popped dirty all you want, which he did. You can say he'll cheat. Okay, cool. He was a cheat. But that seems like it's not the conversation that people having, because PBC finds it extremely enamoring. They're enamored to give this man these high ticket fights and sacrifice their big names on there. So what's next? We're gonna get Charlo. We're gonna get Charlo. Is Charlo gonna be able to go in there and basically fight in the honor of his brother? Can Charlo go in there and put up a better fight? I'm being honest. Is it possible for Charlo to reestablish the family namesake? Can Charlo do it? Let's think about that. Because that travesty that we seen in the T-Mobile Massacre Part 2. Oh my God. Jeremy, what's good? Yeah, Miguel. Al ready sacrificing all PBC for Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Sacrificing the shit out of him, right? Right, Miguel? That grease is hot, and goddamn Al Heyman just dangling their ass over there. Well, I'd like to make them sweat first, because you know what water do to grease. It makes it pops all over the place. Al like just dangling them over that grease. And they can feel the heat. They start to sweat, and that damn water drip down in the grease. That shit be popping up on them. Al started to get this sinister laugh. That's Al Heyman, y'all. He up there just dangling them fighters over the grease. Come on, Al, why me, Al? And right when they start talking, he just let them fingers loose. Boom! Put them in the grease. Cook them. Al was just sitting back in his high chair. He was looking at Jermell Charlo take that L. Al a fool, ain't he? He a fool trick. Al a fool, man. Up there dangling them fighters over that hot grease, knowing that water and hot grease don't go together. So that's why Spence wasn't at the fight. Yeah, Spence wasn't at the fight because he probably didn't feel like he was wanted. Plus, it was Jermell in the main event, and that pretty much consummated any type of travels that he was participating in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if he was trying to make a decision for travels, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that Jermell was the main event made him get to that decision a whole lot faster. Serious. Real talk. But I'm going to tell y'all, this beef that's going on between Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo, That shit is real. This shit has been brewing for quite some time. I just didn't talk about it because it wasn't a focus of mine. You know what I'm saying? Because I always felt like the Charlo twins was who they are. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be brash and shit. Just like the shit Caleb Plant was talking about, how, Ma was asking him, why you don't fuck with you, I fuck with you, and this, that, and the other. And then Caleb Plant said, cause you hot and cold. Well, Mel Charlo is hot and cold too. He's hot and cold too. I told y'all a long time ago that I know people in Texas. I told you all that. I communicate with people in Texas to stay close to these situations. You know what I'm saying? And this is no different, man. It's been friction between these two for quite some time, no matter what they put on. When Errol Spence was getting ready for Terrence Crawford, you did not see Mel Charlo in the picture. Yeah, he showed up to the fight just to be there. Yeah, you seen him in the back. You know what I'm saying? Because the camera's rolling, bro. The camera's rolling. Al probably say, hey, man, if you can just show up, represent the company. I want the fighters. I know we hanging on a piece of hot spaghetti string, but come on, just show up. Just show your face. The camera's gonna be rolling. Let them know that we still a unit. We still got that cohesive bond. We still a band of brothers. Our camaraderie will not be broken because I am my brother's keeper. But you better know it. Canelo, you next on. Hey, I'm putting you next on the Canelo's list. I'm still your keeper, though. Al Heyman put their ass up there and say, I am your brother's keeper. Go out here and get this money so I can keep it. That's what Al Heyman said. Go out here and get this money so I can keep it. I'm going to give you yours on the back end. I'm going to take mine up front. That's how you get generational wealth. You don't ever have to worry about going broke again. All right? Outlaw Pugilist, what's good? Why Spence didn't support his homie by being at the fight? Didn't want to run into Bud. No, I think, if anything, right, their 47s, that Bud wasn't going to pay no mind to Spence like that. He already beat the guy. I mean, I'm not speaking for Bud. He just come off of this person like, why he's going to go pursue Spence and he already beat him. Now, if you're talking about Spence not wanting to run into Bud, no, I think that's the last of his concerns. I think, first of all, like I said, he wasn't going there to support Jermell Charlo fighting the Canelo because Errol Spence wanted to fight Canelo. It's been on record. It's recorded. It's PR. You know what I'm saying? He always wanted to say, I can move up to 160 and fight Canelo Alvarez. All of them two Charlos and a Spence been wanting to fight Canelo forever and a day. Now we get the first Charlo in the door, and he just started pissing all over the place, man. It was garbage. So for Errol Spence, he didn't want to come there to support Jermell Charlo. And second of all, he really didn't want to walk in there and have all those media asking him those questions. He's in seclusion right now. Didn't he tell us he was going to disappear? He disappeared. Now, Errol Spence's spirit will forever be in the T-Mobile massacre. Yes. If you look real closely and you do some examination, get some high-end freaking movie experts to examine that shit and put them what's that light? Hold up. Let me ask right quick. Black light. The UV light. If you find somebody that have a big enough UV light, you can see Spence spirit walking around that motherfucker for real. If they could have allowed you to zoom into that fight, what was going on, Spence would have been in there too. Not like you think though. His spirit probably would try to land shots on Jermell Charlo Because I always thought about it. I said, did Canelo really hit him that hard? It seemed like it was something else that was in there that was basically adding on to that. And I said to myself, that's what it is. You know, the spirit of EJ was in there throwing punches too with Canelo. So if you want to give Jamel any credit, he was going in there against two people. Two people whooping his ass at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But he should be freaking 35-3. They should have gave him 2 losses this past weekend, the way he looked. I knew he had to look some way, somehow. 2 people were whooping his ass at the same time. The spirit of Spence will always be in the T-Mobile arena. Always. Always. Crawford beat that spirit out of him, man. You know, that's another reason why he won at the fight, man. He just didn't have the spirit and the energy to go in here and face the good and the bad. Him and Terrence would have had respect, so-called, you know, whatever. But him and his stablemate Jamel Charlo, nah, not so much. Real talk, not so much. This is going to be great. I just can't wait that this shit play out. You know, I was low key hoping that Jamel Charlo put on a better performance. You know, I was low key, man. When the fight started, I didn't put it out on here. You know, I know I've been on record say he has 0% of winning, but low key, I was saying, okay, come on, man, put on a performance, because I want him to put on a better performance so it can resonate back to a possible, you know, Jamel Charlo and Terrence Crawford. I wanted his performance September 30th to influence and basically ignite just a little bit more attention from the fan base to start talking about him and Crawford. But he went in there and just it's just too much criticism to just filter out. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much to deal with. Shout out to Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw, is in the building. My source told me that statement on All Access has Spence feeling some type of way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I know if anybody got the good sources, Shaw News sources is on point, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know that All Access, all you gotta do is make them phone calls up there in Texas. They'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? That shot that he took, that Spence wasn't in shape and he was breathing all hard, and pretty much he was just lackadaisical in training and all that. Hey, man. Hey, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna take shots at your stablemate like that? Tell me how that works, Shaw News. The news with Shaw News. How's that working? How you gonna take shots at your stablemate on the biggest fight of your life? Like, yeah, you was there for Spence's biggest fight of his career, right? And you was sitting there within target range. You were there. We seen you. You was dressed in red. You wanted to be seen. We seen you, brother. But if you was there to support your brother, man, why were you taking shots at him on All Access, man? It's not right. It's not cool for you to do that. You trying to say the man was out of shape, you know, and he was trash. He is real life rock star status, $1 million club appearance, performance. Shaking my hand. I need that Team Canelo formula. Canelo, man, when I saw him at the weigh-in put his hand up to the people, he didn't even wave. He just put his hand up like he was a president. And people was like, yeah, yeah, Canelo, viva la loca, viva la Mexico, viva la Mexico. Man, they was going crazy, dog. Saul, Canelo. Charlo put his hands up. That's when the crickets started to talk. They said, "Oh, it's our turn. We up. That's what the crickets did. The crickets said, "Oh, we up. Go ahead. Who's gonna start it off? Hurry up." They want to know who's gonna goddamn be the conductor. Can we please get the likes up for OGWCS? I appreciate you, Toby. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to across the pond boxing fans, man. It's always good to be international. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I said it before. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side Official. If you over here, you know. If the aerosexuals say Bud Crawford doesn't sell, what they gonna say about Jermell Charlo after that performance? Now, Toby, we're gonna take our time on this. We're gonna be a little bit. We have to be just a little bit more meticulous in this, right? Because what do you mean by sale? You know what I'm saying? What do you mean by that? Because if our expectations for numbers to sell, we got to look at it that they're not going to just look strictly at Charlo because he was in there with Canelo. See, Spence only got away with that because Spence was in there with Mikey Garcia, but they always excluded Mikey out like he wasn't there. But are they going to say Canelo was partially to blame for the numbers being the way they are? Or are they going to say that Charlo was the reason that the numbers were the way they are in there with Canelo Alvarez? Was Canelo partially to blame for Canelo? I mean, for the numbers being the way they are, if they was in the sewer system, or was it Jermell Charlo who pretty much really don't have that backstory? He don't have the receipts of having those big numbers. I don't know. I think these pay-per-view numbers, man, I think they're gonna do pretty damn well. Seriously, I think they're gonna do pretty damn well. I'm looking at around, if I can say hit it right around on the nose, I think they're gonna do about 84,000. Yeah, I think, the pay-per-view price of the PPV, and that's about around how many pay-per-views they probably was. Yeah, 84. Yeah, I think that's right on right there. That's spot on. 84. Yep, 84 for the pay-per-view, 84,000 freaking pay-per-view buys. Yeah, that's about right. That's about. If y'all want anybody to blame Charlo. He was dressed in all black like it was a funeral the whole freaking fight week. Blame him. Blame him for everything. Blame him. We're talking about the guy who's talking about, I'm a bad motherfucker. Man, get the fuck out of here, dog. You was on one knee. You and Ryan Garcia has a lot in common. Hey, Jermell, I saw you on one knee. It wasn't that bad, huh? You got up and kept fighting. I couldn't. It hurt too bad. Jermell got dominated too. Jermell gave up and went in survival mode, trying not to get knocked out. Hey, Fred, it was a moral victory, bro. As much as I hate using that combination, it was moral victory. Yes, it was without principle. This man, hey, both of them fighters was on some bullshit ass time. Canelo could have stopped him, and Jermell didn't try to stop him. Canelo could have stopped him, and Jermell didn't try to stop him. All he was trying to do is see how he can rotate out the damn corners and off the ropes whenever he felt like. Jermell Charlo didn't go all out. It wasn't no bonsai effect. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no Mexican freaking temperature. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't representing his country. He wasn't repping any African tribes, that people say, black people go back to our ancestors. You wasn't channeling that energy here. I didn't see any of that shit from you. I didn't see any of that. I didn't see it for real. It's you gave me I come in here not to get touched tonight type of vibes. I want to go out to the club and not be swollen up too much. I don't want to get knocked the fuck out type of vibes. How can I go back to Texas after what happened to Errol Spence? I'm telling you, Bud Crawford If it's anything he should be charged for criminally, it's manipulation, because Bud has been able to manipulate a lot of people since July 29th. I mean, he has them under spells. Mayor Charlo went in this fight with Canelo Alvarez still thinking about what happened July 29th in this same building. Tell me I'm lying. If there's any charges that should be made, any charges that should be basically rendered towards Terrence Crawford, it's the fact of the PTSD, the amount of individuals that are suffering from PTSD from attending that fight. And one of those people that we just seen play out, Jermell Charlo, obviously was suffering from PTSD. No doubt about it. That man went in there in the first round, and he didn't have no plans of going in there trying to shock the world. No plans, y'all. No plans, man. How you ever thinking you're battling to be on the pound for pound list? Is Mel Charlo on the pound for pound list? Let me take a gander. I'm about to we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that shit. I don't like that right there. I gotta see this right here. What's on this pound for pound list? Is Mel Charlo on this pound for? Let me take a gander. Okay, he's not on that pound for pound list. Thank holy Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. If I would have seen this dude on the pound for pound list with Crawford, I would have said, this has to be taken care of right now, ASAP. No way he's on the pound for pound list. No. I see they finally moved Canelo back in front of Bivol. Why? I don't know. How can you move up after facing Jermell Charlo? Makes no sense to me at all. Christopher White, what's good? Andy said, I bet Charlo stole the robe from the leader from the Warriors movie, The Rifts. It was black and sparkly too. Man, that's one of the ugliest robes I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Oversized hoodie covering, so you can't see his face or anything. That shit look Illuminati out, bro. That looked like he was a part of the Black Illuminati for real. Something ain't right with that picture. You went in a jet black. You didn't have nobody walk you out. You went jet black with sparkles on it. No, it looked like you was going to a ritual, bro. You was being sacrificed, man. I mean, what do y'all think about this potential fight between Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo? What do you think about that? I think I love it. I do. I love it. I love this potential fight. I love it, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love this shit. This fight right here, being the two fighters know each other. I love the potential matchup of this. I love it. I love this because I'm curious to know who's gonna train who for this fight. You know what I'm saying? I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like it. I really do. I want to see these two square up. I mean, it's nothing like having two elite fighters. You know what I'm saying? Two champions that's been in the ring with each other, sparred each other, go in there and fight. This is the fight that people need to see. If you're not going to fight your brother Mario Charlo, you definitely need to fight that other guy Spence that's been around for a long time. You need to fight him, bro. I like it. I definitely like it. Imagine what must have felt like for anyone who bet on Spence to beat Crawford and then bet what side would Diddy James be on. We know Diddy James is not going to choose sides in this fight. He's going to choose the one that's probably much easier for him to train. I don't know, to be more competitive, to have the more I don't know. It's hard to say who he has a decent relationship with. To be honest, I don't think he has a decent relationship with either fighter. If he had to choose one, I couldn't really tell you who he would choose. When it comes to Diddy James, I think it's all about the money, bitch. That's Diddy James, bitch. Come on now. You know how Diddy like that money. It's all about who pays him the highest dollar bill. You know what it is on the streets. Who's going to have me coaching to get that ass beat? Is it you, Jamel? Is it you, Spence? Come on out that pocket. We don't have much to be talking. Come on out that pocket. Let me know who got the highest ticket. That's how Diddy James gonna handle. He gonna be talking to them like he the pimp. Y'all bitches know who I am. Where's my money? That's what Diddy James gonna be saying. He's gonna corner the one who can come up with the most money. But if they smart, both of them should get new trainers. I mean, not new trainers. Spence-Charlo should let Guzman train him. And then Spence, I don't know. Let me find somebody else. That's all I'm saying. Find somebody else. Just have enough confidence to get out of the shadow of Diddy James. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do, man. I'm giving you another nugget to run with. That's all you have to do. Be a good fight, but what side would Diddy James on? W says, what is the new order? The PBC, stay away from Terrence Crawford, my bet. This is my thing, Christopher. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Why would they say stay away from Crawford when they're all about sacrificing them to Canelo Alvarez? Is it okay to sacrifice them to a Mexican fighter other than a black fighter? You tell me. You tell me. I mean, because we know Crawford is not pretending to be black. But you tell me. Real talk. You tell me. Why would you sacrifice your top fighters to a Mexican fighter and then try to pretend like Crawford is bad news for TGB, when Crawford went out there and did the exact same thing Canelo did to Spence-Charlo? Y'all just told him, hey, that's enough. You already got your knockdown now. Chill now. I mean, what's the difference? You want Canelo to reap all the benefits because he's bringing in more money. So therefore, Crawford, he can't just get a slide. You know what I'm saying? He can't get a slide because he doesn't have the complexion for the protection. How does that work? I need to know, how does that work? I just want to know, how does that work? That's all. Because you're sacrificing your fighters to Canelo Alvarez. Crawford is another dangerous fighter. So I just want to know, like, what makes it okay for Canelo to be the butcher and not Crawford? That's all I need to know. What makes him, what makes Canelo the butcher? Why are you all serving up these fighters to Canelo Alvarez? Just because he makes the money? But your fighters are taking L's. It's no one going to come to your defense and say, well, out of Charlo and Spence, we have a chance. No, they're going to say, well, David Benavidez, is he on there? David Benavidez is the one that has a shot. But it's no connection there. Like, y'all are not going to force this man to try to take any fights, because in one breath he's saying Crawford's not going to do anything for him, and then in the other breath he's trying to come up with an excuse not to step in there with Benavidez. I don't get, like, who's enforcing this shit. If you give him a multi-fight deal and Spence-Charlo looked the way he did, then you have to switch it up to get more money. You have to switch it up. You may need to sit down and talk to Canelo, because these fighters play freaking mind games all the time. Sit down with Canelo and say, Canelo, that fight with Crawford, a lot of people talking about it, bro. We need to try to potentially set that up. I think a lot of people want to see you fight Terrence Crawford. Are you up to that? Are you inclined to approve that? You know what I'm saying? Because people really, truth be told, people want to see Crawford go in there and get pick up his first defeat. Also, they want to truly see how his performance value is going to do in there with Canelo, and how he's going to handle Canelo's high points and how Canelo's going to handle Crawford's high points. That's really what people want to see. But first and foremost, to get them to the seat, they want to go and see if Crawford's going to lose against Canelo. That's period. There's no options then. That's period. The PBC is desperate for that bag. Their stock is plummeting. The PBC going to be even more cautious with Tank now. I don't know. Tank a different dog, though. Tank is just, I don't know, man. Tank is under a different flight schedule. You know what I'm saying? His manifesto is different. You can't add Tank in there. You know, his manifesto is different. Seriously. His manifesto is different. Real talk. His manifesto is different. You don't have to worry about Tank coming in there with some crazy shit. His manifesto is different. You don't have to worry about this. But at the end of the day, my interest, real talk, is absolutely Errol Spence and freaking Jamel Charlo heading in there for a future fight at 154 pounds. Mel Charlo has made it clear that he's not leaving 154. And then he should first and foremost, you know, try to get on the horn and get Tim Tszyu as his next fight, or get Errol Spence as his next fight if him and Bud don't fight. Jamel Charlo, you need to fight Errol Spence Jr. You know what I'm saying? You need to go in there and really try to redeem yourself coming off this Canelo situation. Crawford's not going to get you there. Crawford's saying, I want bigger and better fights. I want the purse. I want the chips. I want all that. You just calling out because I heard you say some shit. What was that word? What was that C word? What was that C word? You say he was clout chasing. You say Terrence Crawford was clout chasing. You said that in front of millions at the post-fight conference. You said Terrence was clout chasing. How in the hell is Terrence clout chasing someone who is cloutless? Somebody please explain that. Now, we're not talking about an average bystander off the street. We're talking about an elite champion fighter. How is Crawford clout chasing you? What clout do you have? The only clout that you was chasing is when James Harden was in your girl's purse and you say, hey, man, what you got? What you doing? Oh, my fault. I thought I was digging in the popcorn, dog. My fault. But, man, y'all in the same weight division? No, man. He fight at 147. Hey, he too light for me, man. I already did what he doing. I'm about to step in there with Canelo. I wonder his James Harden. You know what I'm saying? While I'm up here taking my time. Let me see. Okay. You never know. My mind do wonder. My mind wonders. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if James Harden. Come on now. I gotta put this piece together. Let me see if James Harden commented on the fight. Okay. Come on, James. I just thought about you. Came in my thought process now. James Harden over here at the U.S. Cup, man. He ain't studying no mother effing boxing. Come on, James. Come on. Man, goddamn it. James Harden didn't even think that you was worth him getting on and putting a tweet out there about you, bro. Wow, nothing. James Harden didn't even tweet about you, Mel Charlo. And you was sitting right next to him talking about, oh, man, I'm about to fight Canelo, man. I'm about to fight Canelo. I bet James Harden was up there and he was shooting threes to say, hey, man, you know, Mel, he just He looked bad, bro. He said, I know, man. I know he was just sitting up there talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? But hey, close that door. I got to work on these threes right quick, man. I ain't got time to be talking about that bum. You know, James probably called him a bum, man. I didn't know that. It's no telling, man. He probably called him a bum. I don't know. I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying he didn't. But he probably said, damn, bro. Man, whatever, bro. Whatever. I ain't got time for this shit. But what I want y'all to take a look at, is it possible to happen? Can Terrence Crawford pursue Canelo Alvarez enough for them to get to conversing about this, you know, business-wise? Is it a good enough fight? Yes. Is boxing fans gonna want to see it? Is this one black man that failed to show up and represent his people gonna deter people from seeing Crawford? No. No. Because they know that Crawford's mindset and mentality is different, much more sharper than Mel Charlo. They know that Crawford carried a different type of freaking valve in there. See, Mel Charlo left that valve that called his heart. He left it in the locker room in a suitcase wrapped in aluminum foil. Terrence Crawford, he's definitely known to have a bigger heart than Mel Charlo. And yes, I think a lot of people would like for Canelo to take that fight, but also they'll like for David Benavidez to get his shot too. I mean, at the end of the day, they'll definitely like for David Benavidez to go in there and get his shot, since Canelo ended up picking up his belt instead of fighting him when he was actually reigning defending WBC champion, world champion in super middleweight division. So a lot of people are going to call for that fight, but it's boxing at the end of the day. What is going to make the most money? And I'm gonna be honest, man. People can say, oh, it's two Mexican fan bases and all that. Man, I think Crawford and Canelo Alvarez would make the most money, period. That's what I think. I ain't saying I'm right. That's what I think. Gumby said, shout out to Gumby on deck. Charlo looked stuck in first gear. A few times he threw combos. He just let off and looked scared. I agree. But hey, y'all, that's all my time. It's like an hour and a half. Appreciate y'all for pulling up as always. Don't let them fool you. And remember, above all else, you all are the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side official, ain't no negotiation. Y'all stay solid as always. Don't let them trick you out your shit. Talking this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them do it. Don't let them do it. And for Mel and Errol Spence, I want to see y'all fight, goddammit. I think the people want to see y'all fight. It's time. Y'all know each other. Y'all familiar with each other. This is going to be a freaking a bout of strategy, boxing IQ, and durability. Who's more durable? Who's more resilient between you all? Who's more resilient? I'm going for Errol Spence in this fight. For real, I'm going for Errol Spence. A lot of me say don't ever go for Mel Charlo. He thinks he's gonna come down because he said he was feeling the 14 pounds. But yet doing the press tour, he was talking about he's big. He's bigger than what people think. He was feeling the 14 pounds, y'all. That's what he say. I was feeling the 14 pounds. I'm a little Charlo. I represent that. So forget the big Charlo. Forget any Charlo. He's a little Charlo now. Remember his mindset now. Don't let them trick you out the bag. Remember his mindset. His mindset is not on a level where he's going in there to conquer. You know what I'm saying? To conquer. Man, y'all hold it down. Big shout out. Hit the like button on your way out. Sub to the channel. And share the content if you feel like it. I appreciate you. One love. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Saying that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come.